Good day and welcome back to another World of Warcraft video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at basically how you can get every mount you can get in the Zaralek Caverns. So starting with the first mount and the easiest mount to get, that is the new dragon riding mount, the winding Slitherdrake I should probably say. And you get it from the story quest Worst of the Worst on the chapter Inherited Sin of the Embers of Neltharion campaign. It's a pretty straightforward campaign, so just follow the campaign quests and you'll be able to get this mount. Now it is a dragon riding mount, which means that this mount benefits from all of the dragon riding talents that you will find in obviously all the regions of the Dragon Isles. So this is the most straightforward mount to get, and it's also probably the one you're going to end up using the most out of all your mounts, because as you guys should know, dragon riding has made flying or traversing in World of Warcraft a little bit interesting nowadays. So dragon riding mounts take priority, so it makes sense that the winding Slitherdrake is probably going to be your most commonly used mount after this. The next mount is Big Slick in the City, and this mount you can receive from the reward quest Snailed It, which you achieve from getting rank 5 with the Glimmerrog Races. Now, to unlock the whole snail racing mechanic, you need to have rank 7 with the Renown of the Loamm Niffen. You will then get an intro quest, and you basically can do a daily quest every day where you have to race snails. Once you do these quests and get your rank up with the Glimmerrog Races to rank 5, you'll be able to do a quest that will give you the snail. So pretty straightforward, but it will require you to do a daily quest grind, so make sure you stick to it. And you need to be rank 7 to unlock this feature. The next mount we're looking at is the Boulder Hauler mount. This is a pretty straightforward mount that you receive by trading in Boulder Bricks or Boulder Boulders, both of which you can obtain pretty straightforward by just completing the quests that your character receives every single week from the, I guess, called a vendor in Veldraken. So for those of you who don't know, you need to do a quest line with Ponzo. I'll leave a little link in the top right hand corner on how to get Boulder Bricks, but basically this little Loamm here, this little Niffen, will give you a quest, and you will then unlock weekly quests where you can obtain Boulder Bricks and eventually Boulder Boulders as you increase your renown with the Loamm Niffen. It's pretty straightforward. You should be able to get this mount very easily. You just have to do some weekly quests, and honestly, it just doesn't take that long. The next 2 mounts that you get come from trading in baubles. So there's 2 mounts that you can get here, the Subterranean Magmammoth and the Igneous Shalewing. Both of them are from the exact same vendor, and they will require you to get Unearthed fragment coins, which will then exchange for baubles. So it's a pretty straightforward process. Again, I have done a video on how to get these, but you get them by completing the world events that you find in the Zaralek Caverns and the Zaralek Weekly Research event. So by doing those, you will get the Unearthed fragment coins, which you can exchange for coveted baubles, and the coveted baubles you can then exchange for the mounts. You're going to need quite a few of these, so if you see these world events up, or you do the weekly world event, you should be able to get there eventually, but you're going to need 500 in total. It's a pretty intrinsic process, so I've again left my link on how to get these in the top right hand corner. The next mount that you will be able to get is the Cobalt Shalewing. So while you are grabbing Unearthed fragment coins from the Researchers Under Fire weekly event, you will also have a chance to get the Unearthed Shalewing, or the Flaming Shalewing Subject 01. Now, the Shalewing drops from essentially the Thankful Researcher's gift that you receive at the end of the event. And this gift, to cut a long story short, is altered based on how you do during the event. So you get 4 different tiers. You get the thankful, the indebted, the appreciative, and just the researchers. Now, if you do really, really well, you'll get the indebted. And the percentage does seem to change with the variation of the reward, with it being around 5% from the appreciative to around 7 or 8% from the 2 highest tiers. Now, there's no guarantee that this is the case. This is just based on what players have managed to record on websites like Wowhead, but it does make some sense. So just remember, you need to open up this appreciative researcher's gift. Fortunately, this is one of the better ways to get yourself some unearthed fragment coins, so at least you are kind of doubling up here. Plus, it gives you reputation for the Loamm Niffen, which you'll need to unlock Snail Racing. So there you go. Triple goal. The next mount is probably the hardest one to get, and basically because there's a couple really annoying things you actually have to do. So to get this mount is technically very straightforward, however also probably the most infuriating. I'll leave a link to the locations, but you need to activate 3 seething orbs that can be found around the Zaralek Caldera in the Zaralek Caverns. Now these orbs have an incredibly long respawn timer, and it makes them quite difficult to get. Once you have clicked on 3 orbs, so you will be able to unlock a seething cache, which you can find here, where I am currently on the map. It's very difficult to show you locations of the orbs because, quite frankly, they just never up. So instead, I'll leave a link to all of the locations down in the description below. The next mount is the Cobalt Shalewing, and it's the only mount that you can obtain from a rare inside the Zaralek Caverns. It's dropped by Coracto, or Carocta, I guess is the best pronunciation, which is basically just a giant form of the creature. You can see here I am not fighting that rare, but this is just to showcase that you fight rares for it. But I will, however, show you the location very shortly about where you can find Coractoa. Now, it's an elite rare, so it will just pop up while you are adventuring. All I can basically say is keep an eye out for it. The drop rate for the Cobalt Shalewing seems to be relatively decent. A lot of people are commenting that it drops relatively easily, but again, it does just depend on like how lucky you get. And then finally, the Morsel Sniffer, which is the Renown mount that you obtain from hitting Renown rank 18 with the Loamm Niffen. Now, the easiest way is just to raise your Renown, which I'll leave a link to, my Renown guide. But essentially, this is just a Renown-based mount, so you should get there eventually if you continue to play the game. So that's it. That covers every single mount you can get in the Zaralek Caverns. I haven't included the PvP mounts for patch 10.1 or the like raid mounts and things like that. So that's it from me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, take care, stay safe, and as always, bye.